Hello, my name is Howard and I'm starting a new channel where I'm going to be looking at some Unity development. I'm a .NET developer, I've been for many years, but I've never really written a game, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of just get to know Unity a bit. Now my personal computer is a Mac. I have a Windows machine for work, but they're pretty strict about what you do with it, so I figure that's fair enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing some dev on my Mac. I've never really done any C# on my Mac before, so that'll be fun. So I'm going to need a new repo. Now, as a programmer, when you when you start learning a programming language or kind of anything programmatic, you very often start with creating some very basic apps, typically the Hello World app, which is just to print the phrase Hello World. So I thought, yeah, we can do that. But I'm going to create a repo so you guys can have a look at it as well. So this is my GitHub account. I'm creating a new public repo. I'm going to add a README. I'm going to add a git ignore. And I'm going to ask it to give me the Unity one. And that'll be fun to see if that works. License? Do I really? Don't know. I'll leave that as none for now. I can always change that. Okay, so create a repo. Sweet, that's created. Now obviously that's on the web in the cloud. I need that locally, so I'm going to fire up GitHub. And I'm going to add. Oh no, not add. I need to clone a repo. So that's grabbing a copy of a repo that I've created from somewhere else. Come on, find it. Oh, this is good. Okay, so Unity Hello World, that's the one I want. I'm going to clone that, and it's going to come down into my personal folder eventually. Good lord, what a lot of projects I have. Okay, so nothing much to say. The files that were created in GitHub are here now. That's good. So let's create a new project properly, this time with the right project. I want the Universal Render Platform. I want to call it Hello World. Generally prefer to give it a different name to what the repo in GitHub is called. Don't like having folders with the same names, so if I can create that project. That's going to spin around and hopefully give me a nice universal render pipeline project. Okay, so we've got the standard. Ooh, it doesn't. Why is it all right? Right blue. Let's try running that. Okay, that's fine. Now, we don't have any scripts right now. Where should we put some scripts? Good question. The simplest place, well, I think, have we got a script on the camera? Almost certainly we do. We have a simple camera controller script. Where have you gone? let's fire that thing up, which means we're going to now launch Visual Studio. Oh, this is so slow. Here we go. Now my first stab at implementing a Hello World will be an imported cheat. So this is the script file that's gonna create, so it's creating a class to handle the state, which is fine. I wonder if we do actually have any normal update kind of methods knocking around in here. Get boost factor, is boost pressed, is escape pressed, so okay, so it's wrapping up all of the calls to the UI. So okay, we've got void update. It's saying if this escape is pressed, application quit. Well, that seems pretty okay. Do we have a start? Oh, we do. I'm not actually sure if it looks like that's been disabled. So I'm going to create a little sample. If not has been displayed, so I have no idea why we're this is a pretty I think we can all agree that's pretty dumb. Kind of a weird thing about Mac. Visual Studio on the Mac, they use the control key, not the command key, for things like copy and paste. It's so that like Windows developers can feel at home and familiar, but honestly it's such a pain in the neck because all the other programs that you'd use on your Mac don't work like that. So you have to keep remembering, oh, I'm in Visual Studio, so I just need to remember to pretend that this is a Windows machine. Okay, so you've maybe saw Unity jumping up and down, which is very exciting. So let's fire that app up. Oh look, we have Hello World showing up down the bottom here, and yay, Hello World in the console. Notice it's really nice, it's got a little timestamp. Quite often you put timestamps in your apps so that you can know when things happen. So that's phase one of developing Hello World. That's not what we're going to finish on, but that's where we're going to start. So I've written some code, and I really want to check that in, don't I? So let's whiz over to GitHub for desktop, and now it's going to tell me, whoa! Look at all these changes. I'm sure do I need all what? What 14,919 change? What's going on? Well, what's going on is that this is literally all the files that are on the device, but we don't need all of them, and this is what a git ignore file would tell you. So if I now go to so I list all the files. I've got all the files, please. You can see I've got a git ignore file, but it's not in the Hello World. Okay. So move do move to move. I need to move that .kitignore file. You can't see it. If I... You can't see it here. Maybe I can find it. Maybe I can't. Okay, so I am going to have to use my command line unless... Show view options. You're not helping me here. I want to show these hidden files, but I don't need you for that. I'll just right. So I'm not going to move that file. It's gone. Now I can see it's in that folder. So has anything changed? Yes, look, we're now down to 279 files. So it's we'll look at the GitHub, the gitignore file in a bit, but it's basically given it some instructions to ignore quite a lot of the files, and we can look at a lot of these files, and they kind of look like what you'd expect. There are scripts, tutorial info. I might bin that off, but so I think on that basis, first version of Hello World, I'm now going to mark that as commit. So that's going to push all those changes locally. If I very quickly refresh my repo, there are no changes. There are just two files there because I haven't pushed those. So what you do when you commit is you're pushing things into your local copy of the repository. But now when I do a push origin, I'm sending all those changes back up to the server, and we can see it's writing all that stuff. Now in fairness, we probably could have got the number of files down a bit more. I mean, maybe I don't need all the tutorial assets, but okay, that's now gone. There are no local changes left. So if I now go up here, press refresh, woo, okay. Now we can see things are a little, should have got rid of that. The .ds store is like a Mac file. I think it uses to hold thumbnails for images and things like that. So it's not terribly useful. Ironically, it thinks that 50% of my project is Mathematica, which is kind of crazy. No, it's not. And we'll maybe look at deleting files out of GitHub permanently. So anyway, that's my first version of a very lazy Hello World. We're going to have a look at another one in a bit, but I've just had a text from my wife, and so I need to go and do some shopping. So the video will carry on, but I won't. In reality, I'll be off away somewhere. So catch you in a minute. Okay, well I guess that's not too bad. There is something else I do want to do, however. So let's. Oh, where's Visual Studio when you need it? Right. Okay. So this is the Visual Studio, and you can see it very much mimics the folder structure that you get with the project. If I go into the project, we've got the assets with all the folders inside it, and then that's pretty much how it appears here. I actually want to add a new folder. These are not going to be scripts. They're not going to attach to objects per se. I'm actually going to create some little classes in there. So let's add a new class. Because what I want to do is I want to kind of wrap up fetching the message. So let's call it the manager for want of a better word. So public class message manager, kind of feel like I don't need a constructor because I'm probably going to make this as a static. So I do need to tell you what kind of thing it is. That's not how you spell string, Howard. Oh my lord. So basically I'm going to so in here we obviously need to fetch it. If we'll have a little guard here, if after all this, then we're just going to set it to some default value, Unity. So we've got a kind of a fail-safe there. It's always going to kind of work. So that's from the command line. That might be quite fun. So we can pass in a whatever message you feel like. So let's see, we're going to need it's going to be an array of strings, isn't it? Args equals environment get command line args. That seems reasonable. Args, if arg starts with no, just say actually is. We'll say it is if arg no, I actually want to. Yeah, I want to use an array. Sorry about that. Now, you know, that sounds great, but what if the final, so basically we're looping through the args. If one of the args is a message, then I'm sorry about that. So we're looping through. We're going to check if if the current argument is minus message, then we're going to look at the next one. But what if there isn't a next one? I guess I is less than minus 1, I suspect. This may come back to haunt me. So if it's the final message, then it will be equal to args minus 1. So if it's so yeah, and also if we have made that assignment, we can also break out of the loop, because if we found it, we don't need to keep looking at all the other arguments. So that's reasonable. That's a nice little bit of code. all we need to do now is use it. So hello message manager dot hello message, put that inside here. So now I've got a slightly more useful system. So we should expect to see a different message when we load, and maybe we'll even do a build as well. It says hello Unity, that's fabulous. If we do a build, however, we'll see the app, we won't see the console. So we now need a better way of displaying this, a more proper, okay, escape, get out of that. We need a slightly more proper way of displaying that. So let's add another entity, 3D object, 3D text, or text mesh pro. What's the difference? We'll just go with a text mesh pro. Oh, of course, yeah, that's going to need to import a whole bunch of stuff, which is fine. I don't need the examples and extras. I won't get those for now. I've got a little object here. Whoa! That's big. Whew! That's a little bit big, isn't it? I mean, I like it, but it's kind of too big. So, where is the scale? Let's make that 0.1. Well, again, a little bit more like that. Let's move it around a bit. Kind of nearly. I kind of feel like we need a bit of rotation. Okay, I have a horrible feeling that's just not going to be enough space, so over there. That's fine. Obviously we need to attach a script to that. So let's have a script. Hello text. So what's going on in here? Fair enough. We'll have a private message. We won't make it pop up, so we'll just grab it in the start. Message is equal to hello message, and then we need to let's just see how we go with that. I would like to think that would work. I might not have quite grabbed the right object. I start that, we'll probably see like nothing. Okay, so that basically did not work. And I kind of want to know why now. I'm curious. So I'll put a little debug point in there. We'll start the editor. That's weird. I would have thought that. I don't think I did anything wrong there. Let's use our little debug as well. Let's see why that didn't work. That's why, it's null. So clearly I'm doing something wrong. Probably by not grabbing the right thing. So these little blocks here, these are all the components that are on this object. So we've got a transform, we've got a mesh renderer, a text mesh pro, text component, a script, and a material as well. So maybe I'm grabbing the wrong object. Yeah, probably. So if I start with TMP Pro, which is the namespace, which one is it? I have a feeling it's that one. Oh, hang on, no, that's the one that I think. Okay, I think the GUI one is the one that you add into the canvas, but we will see. We will see. I probably ought to stick it in the canvas as well, shouldn't I? Hey, hello Unity. We've got the little bad boy working. So as I said before, just to check we understand the difference between these objects, let's also create a UI. Again, we're going to grab another Text Mesh Pro. Do we want it? Is it going to automatically create? I suspect it's going to create a canvas for us. Yes, it does. We've got another one, so that's a terrible name. So canvas. Need to call that something sensible. Canvas text. I'm going to want to add another script. And we can see we've got some lovely text there. And that text is gonna, oh, let's make it a bit bigger. Ooh, yeah. Let's make that, ooh, I think that's a nice colour. I don't think it's big enough, simply. Whoa, hang on, what? So, the width is really limited, so let's make it 400. I guess it's going to be centered. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. I might need to make sure that the layout and everything is centered as well. So we can do a bit of fun with the that seems okay. That's clearly affecting everything, but I still kind of like it. So clearly, if I want to have those separate, I'm going to need to have different materials at some point. So anyway, back into this bad boy. Let's look at my script. Again, we're going to be doing a very similar thing. I probably don't need to create a separate variable for it. So let's have a think. We're going to grab get components. You maybe don't like adding the namespace every time, which is fine. I can take it out and then it's going to prompt me to add a using up here. I don't need those two for now. Quite like to delete those. So if so, if I just stop trying to be clever. Okay, I need to make that a bit wider. Clearly that's not good enough. Okay. Okay, well I think that's where I'd like to leave it. I had hoped to look at using the command line arguments, but it turns out on a Mac you can't really do that that easily. So I think next time I'm going to look at ways of loading files, maybe write a simple file manager system to let you pick your file. Yeah, just a way of kind of rounding this off, and then we'll look at some other stuff that I like to do when I'm exploring programming languages. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.